Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. So I have a little bit of a dilemma here. For the most part, when I make videos, I try to have a coherent point, a flow, going from one topic to another, trying to make one greater point, an overarching theme, you might say. But for this video, I don't know if I have that. I mean, probably by the end of it, I'll figure something out. But here's the dilemma. I have an epic Cenk Uyghur meltdown. This channel, for those of you guys that are aware, the history of this channel in the very early days was frankly built off the back of Cenk Uyghur meltdowns. If it wasn't for TYT, if it wasn't for Cenk Uyghur, I don't know if the liberal hive mind would even exist, at least not to the extent that it does. And so the question that I'm faced with, do I cover a news story with more nuance that goes into the culture war or policy, or do I just cover the Cenk Uyghur meltdown? And of course, the answer is always, I'm setting it up as if there's a dilemma, but there's really no dilemma. If there's a Cenk Uyghur meltdown, well, of course, you know we gotta cover that. I'm sure you guys don't care about a coherent video with flow and all these buzzwords and nonsense. I'm a simple guy, I'm sure you guys are simple men and women, and all you really need in your life to be satisfied, to be entertained, is a TYT or a Cenk Uyghur meltdown, and that's exactly what I'm gonna bring you guys. Let's see what happened here, watch the clip, add some commentary, and then maybe, if we're lucky, or if I'm lucky, I'll be able to make a half coherent point, at least, hopefully, to bring this whole thing together. But of course, before we get into any of it, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. And with that out of the way, let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so I'm sure you guys are aware of that meltdown that happened on Tim Pool's podcast with R.A. the Rugged Man. You know, that real tough New York guy who flies off the handle and becomes an emotional Karen, getting his panties in a bunch. Well, funnily enough, he shows up on TYT, except this time he wasn't the emotional beta male. It was of course Cenk Uyghur, who completely lost his mind after R.A. the Rugged Man suggested that he and Jimmy Dore should patch things up. Take a look at this.
You and Dore.
No, hell no.
Hell no.
F
No.
Dore, he could F the hell out. I wish I could curse on this show.
It got childish because I seen it on both ends.
Is it childish?
No, it's not both ends, all right.
With
It's
Dore,
not both
then
ends.
Dore and his people were putting up videos of you, you know, when you said, hey, I'd like these shoes, you know, and you tricked the guy to getting your shoes. Oh, look how terrible, and it wasn't terrible. It was a funny skit that was on the internet type of thing.
Listen, now you asked, I gotta answer it. Okay,
of course,
Jimmy says that us and people like Amy Goodman, he insinuates are CIA, or that we're taking money from Nancy Pelosi. That's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. A lunatic says things like that.
Okay, I didn't know
and by
that.
the way, Jimmy doesn't believe a word of that. He took, well then why'd you take our checks, huh, Jimmy? Hey, okay. Why did you take our checks?
I opened it up, I'm sorry.
Okay, no, because I need to clarify for the. If you thought we were taking money from Nancy Pelosi and the CIA, why did you take our money?
You guys not mad at me?
Why did you take our money, Jimmy, huh? You goddamn liar, and you know it. Because why does he sell out for money? Because those same white supremacists go and they give him money through YouTube and all the other things, right? Patreon and stuff. And he sees that, and because he's a greedy little prick who likes to lie nonstop, he goes, ooh, I'll be a right winger. Vaccines, oh no, I'm skeptical about vaccines. Oh no, hey, I think everybody else is taking. Now he says the Green Party might be with the CIA. No, don't give money to anybody else but Jimmy. I don't make peace with goddamn liars, okay? And so I kick their ass for a living. And what is Jimmy now? You're the goddamn joke of the internet, Jimmy Dore. Everybody thinks you're a total and utter fool.
Guys.
You know why? Because he is. Oh, I think Amy Goodman might be CIA. Give me the money instead. That's goddamn Jimmy Dore for you. So they went to the right. Dave Rubin, same exact thing. Same exact thing. But they say, oh, right wing, you give me more money. Oh, I'll pleasure you. I'll do anything you want. That's who Jimmy Dore is. That's who Tim Pool is. That's who Dave Rubin is.
And so, you know, after watching the video one more time, I think it's starting to all come together. I think I understand the point that I want to make. Let's take 3 examples. We have R.A. the Rugged Man, Jack Murphy, and Cenk Uyghur, what seem to be very weak men who try to portray themselves as the tough guys, the alpha males of society, men who have everything under control, but clearly they have absolutely nothing under control because they can't even get their emotions under control. control. The moment they are met with any scrutiny or met with any ideas that may rub them the wrong way, well, it's complete Karen meltdown mode. It's the same thing we see from the left every single time. Cenk Uyghur says a couple funny things there as well, at one point claiming that the fan base of these individuals who have left TYT, like Jimmy Dore and Dave Rubin, are white supremacists, which of course couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, Dave Rubin is such a moderate guy, his fan base the same thing. Jimmy Dore's fan base are all a bunch of Bernie Sanders supporters, most of them far left, but anyone who disagrees with Cenk Uyghur, anybody who doesn't like TYT, well, of course they must just be far-right, alt-right white supremacists. And Jimmy Dore is just taking advantage of that, when of course the reality is that Jimmy Dore and Dave Rubin worked at the TYT and saw the absolute nonsense that they were pushing out on a daily basis. They've also described the toxic work environment and just how difficult it is to work with someone like Cenk, how absolutely unhinged and toxic and petty he is, which of course was shown in the clip that I showed you, and that's probably the reason why they left TYT. But Cenk thinks they're just grifters trying to make money off white supremacists on the internet. Absolutely crazy. I mean, the guy's an absolute nutcase. Then he goes on to say that Jimmy Dore is such an unlikable character, the laughing stock of the internet. But I immediately think to myself, who's the guy who's constantly getting ratioed to oblivion on Twitter? You know, that guy who I think a couple months ago called out Joe Rogan and said that he would beat him in a fight? Oh wait, who's the laughing stock of the internet? Well, it's Cenk Uyghur. Who's the guy who helped spawn this YouTube channel by being such a ridiculous figure that I can make 10-15 minute long videos compiling Cenk Uyghur meltdowns in ridiculous moments? Oh well, I guess that's Cenk Uyghur. Who's the guy that was leading probably one of the most popular independent news networks on YouTube, if not the internet, and over the years has completely cratered it into the ground? I think that's Cenk Uyghur and TYT. And who's the guy who ran for Congress in California and could barely secure 5% of the vote? Oh yeah, that's Cenk Uyghur. But Jimmy Dore is the laughingstock of the internet, very unpopular figure. Give me a break. The reality is, anybody who has even an ounce of integrity and is willing to walk away from the cult that operates TYT, anybody who can expose them for what they really are, a far-left propaganda outlet that is literally funded by mega billionaires, infused with cash by Jeffrey Katzenberg, anytime someone exposes them for what they really are, well, you get the same exact reaction. Cenk Uyghur going in a potato rage mode, and like he always does, threatening to fight whoever that individual is. I don't know about you guys, but I choose not to get my news or my political talking points from a low IQ gamma male who can't even have a debate with anybody he disagrees with without devolving to the point where he's literally threatening to punch you, or his famous retort, "Google it, what are you, uneducated?"
Go look it up. Look it up. You can Google it. It's really easy. Once again, it's this wonderful capitalist invention called Google. Google it.
It's just left-wing male Karen syndrome. Miserable, angry leftist grifters who want to spread their misery and anger on everybody else. It's the same thing that we constantly see on the left. The unhinged emotional state, a constant threat of violence, and immediately losing their cool the moment they are met with any criticism or any counterpoint that they don't have a legitimate retort to. And another point that this highlights is exactly why I think the modern left, at least in its current state, is unsustainable. There's no way that this is going to last because they eat each other alive. Dave Rubin is not a conservative. Jimmy Dore is definitely not a conservative. They're all still on the same team, but they just can't get along. There's this toxic element within the progressive base that is imploding the modern left. It's completely dysfunctional. They operate under the same party banner, but they absolutely hate each other. And Cenk Uyghur is the perfect example of that, constantly threatening the left-wing establishment, losing his mind nearly every single election, whether it be special elections, off-season elections, general election. The Democrat Party is being destroyed from within, the enemy from within. And that's the unhinged, far-left Karen nature that is frankly impossible to get along with and impossible to have a conversation with. And this, of course, is just another example added to the endless list of examples of unhinged left-wing tirades. It's a phenomenon of immaturity that we see on the left. People who have yet to grow up, even at like 50 years old. I mean, R.A. the Rugged Man is another prime example. The guy's nearly 50 years old, and he's still acting and dressing and talking like a teenager with the New York tough guy tone. And that's why I cannot take these people seriously, especially why I can't take their political viewpoints seriously, because not only do they have the emotional stability of a 12-year-old spoiled brat, but they have the same political viewpoints as well. And that, just like their behavior, I cannot respect. That's what I got for you guys though. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share it as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. I gotta get back to work though. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.